Okay, what I've got for you today is this is the version of Korvold, the new attack direction that I've got ready to play. So let me just go over some of the changes that I made. Right now I'm running 38 lands. Not sure if I can go back down to 37. So anyway, just to summarize, just to recap, Korvold, 2 black, green, red, 4/4 flying. When he comes into play, he's a 5/5. Because when he comes into play, you have to sacrifice another permanent, and when you do, he gets a +1/+1 counter and you draw a card. He also does that whenever he attacks, so he is my draw engine. So normally the way this is built is some kind of sacrifice, some kind of combo deck, and I did build that at first. I had that, and it wasn't really that much fun to play. I didn't really like it. So I took them apart, put the pieces aside, and started thinking about what else to do. In Saskia, making her an attack deck, that didn't really work. So I rebuilt her as my token sacrifice deck. Basically, she became what most people build Korvold as. And it works. So I don't have an attack deck, and I thought Korvold would be able to fill that role. So I built this deck, and I'll do some gold fishing a bit later and see if it works. So mana base, the changes I made since I presented the beta, the initial, is I added this treasure vault in a high market. High market, that's pretty common. I don't think I need to explain too much. Sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life, add 1 color. So when I sacrifice a creature, if I trigger high market and he's in play, he gets a counter and I draw a card. Nice. What's cool, hopefully this treasure vault is, actually thinking about it, it would probably be better in Saskia, but I'm going to try it in Korvold because since she's put together, it's more mental energy for me to change anything. Korvold, since he is being put together and I've not actually played a game with the current build, it's easier for me to swap cards in and out to a certain point, and that point has ended because I now have the stack of 99 plus him. So treasure vault, add 1 colorless or double X, sacrifice it, create X treasure tokens. I want to put a Crucible Worlds in this deck. Where did I put the Crucible World to show you? It's somewhere. Anyway, so with the Crucible Worlds, I can, at the end of somebody's turn, dump my mana, create a bunch of treasure tokens, then on my turn, I can use Crucible to get this back out of my graveyard. Other notable cards that I can use Crucible with are Bujika Bog, because I can sacrifice Bujika Bog to Zern Orb, gain 2 life. It goes in the graveyard. With Crucible Worlds, I can replay it, exile somebody else's graveyard. I'm missing the Bloodstained Mire, so I only have 2 fetch lands. So right now, there's only 2 fetch lands in the Treasure Vault that I can sacrifice in and of themselves that don't require any other cards to sacrifice. Well, I can sacrifice lands for Korvold. So anyway, Treasure Vault is the only interesting addition to the mana base from the previous showing. Korvold. Artifacts, I've made no changes. Okay, there's the Sarkhan Vol. So Korva gets the Chibi Sarkhan Vol. 2 green red. 4 loyalty planeswalker. This is the most important part. Creatures you control get +1/+1 haste until end turn. I have 2 cards to give all my creatures haste, Urbrask the Hidden and Sarkhan. I could put in more, but right now I'm running a lot of light themes. So Korvold does not lean heavy into tokens, he does not lean heavy into planeswalkers. I've got a little bit of a lot of things, and it is possible that I don't have enough of any one thing. I'll find out as I play it. Gain control target creature in turn, untap that creature, gains haste. So I can steal somebody's creature, and Korvold can eat it, so it goes away. Or I can just steal it, use its ability. Steal it, attack with it, see if it gets killed or not. Yeah, a lot of things you could do with that. Grade 5, 4/4 red dragon creature open flying. So feeds Korvold, makes tokens. No other changes to the main deck. The creature suite, not really. Thought about taking out the Hell Rider because it's when a creature you control attacks. So whenever a creature you control attacks, it deals 1 damage to the defending player. Where is that? Where's my kitty cat? So with Nikata Warpride, it creates a bunch of tokens, but they're already attacking. So when this attacks, put X tokens in play tapped and attacking that are copies of the Warpride, where X is the number of creatures defending player controls. Remove them from the game at the end of the turn, so I don't get to sacrifice them. It'd be nice if I sacrifice them at the end of the turn, but I don't. Unless I put a Goblin Bombardment in here. Been thinking about it. Not sure what I'd take out. Don't have an extra one right now anyway, so I haven't really pursued it. But anyway, if I get an extra attack step, and that is kind of the theme of the deck, get extra attack steps. So it wouldn't, the original tokens, if they live on the second attack step, would be attacking then. So Hell Rider would trigger. But the ones that are created when the Nikata Warpride attacks do not trigger Hell Rider. So without that many creatures, without that many attackers, I'm thinking Hell Rider is not going to work very well. Now, those tokens do work very well with Natier's Nightblade because when they get exiled, they leave the battlefield. And each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And I gain 1 life for each one. It'd be nice if it was each opponent loses 1 life and you gain life equal to the life lost this way. I always complain about this. It's a kind of a pain in the ass, and I always relay to everybody else that I don't really like it, but it is what it is. At least I gain some life. Anything else changed in the creature suite? Not really. So there's one of the ways of getting multiple attacks. The other way, of course, is Anzac the Quake Mole. When he becomes blocked, untap each creature control. After this combat phase, there is an additional combat phase. So he skips the main entirely. Aggravated Assault, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. So I untap everything I control, I get another combat, and then I get another main. This dude's like, fuck that, you don't get another main phase, just keep attacking. Screw this main phase, sorceries, and casting things and playing land bullshit, you don't get that. Okay, fine, Anzac, you asshole. There's the sneak attack. What else did I put in? I did put in Demonic Tutor in order for me to find... it replaced Worldly Tutor, so it's not that much a tutor for a tutor. Creature tutor for an unrestricted tutor, because sneak attack is kind of key to my strategy, as is aggravated assault. Okay, so what I really want to do though, and I took out Worlds of Wilding, took that out because decided I'd rather not replace my draws to get the bear creatures. I will take it with me in case I change my mind, in case I decide I want to do that. So that's kind of where Korva is now. Need to do some goldfishing, need to see how it plays. Don't know what I'm going to take out for that Crucible of Worlds. I could take out a land. I've got 38 lands. Normally I play 37. Except I have 1, let's see, 2, 3 that come into play tapped. And I have 1. We'll count that as it does nothing. Unless I've got the swamps. So it's kind of useless. This is not really a land. I'm just dropping it as a land into play. but I'll count the ones that produce colorless or do nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 of the lands do not produce any color that's irrelevant. And then Savage Lands comes into play tapped. Thawing Glaciers comes in. So 38 lands seems like one too many, except for the fact of all the color requirements that Korva has, being 3 color. Sorry, 3 color. 1, 2, 3. So he's got some strict color requirements. I've got a lot of things with the number of pips, so I'm going to need the colors. I've got a couple ways to draw cards. I've got Burgeoning Exploration and Yamama These Tree to drop more lands into play, to play my lands quicker, in addition to Thawing Glaciers. So I need to see how it's going to work. I need to see how it functions as goldfishing. So let me get the door and then